Well, Khamzat, here we are, UFC Fight Week. We're in the United States, and it is your favorite part of this whole process is talking about yourself, giving interviews, sitting in front of the camera, right? You've been looking forward to this?
But I usually don't like to do so much interviews, but I like more fighting.
How come, man? I mean, do you at least understand why people want to hear from you? Do you understand it?
Yeah, of course, because when you're famous, when a lot of things going around you, so people wants to hear when you're talking, what mindset you have and how's your life, you know.
Well, I mean, especially for you though. I mean, you're right, it's all famous people, but do you acknowledge that you have done something pretty special, that where you come from and then what you've been through, and then even like from the time you signed from the UFC and then getting to this opportunity, do you recognize that like I am very special? This is why people want to hear how I do this. Like I am a special person. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, maybe, but so I'm still stay same Khamzat, because has to be humble in life, but in the cage, man, going crazy. That's good for the young boys, like being grow up like me, had tough time, you know, no money, nothing, you know, so come up from bottom to up here. Mm-hmm. So maybe good picture for them. For them, could be a good special picture.
UFC 319 is going to be in Chicago, but we're in Huntington Beach, where you're training for about a month before you go to Chicago. How did that end up, that you came out to California before this fight?
Arman Sarukian, UFC fighter, you know, so I know him in the last 2 years. We trained together, so he told me about the coaches, about the gym, everything is good here for training camp in US. So I've been in Vegas a couple of times. I didn't like it weather, and there's good gyms, good coaches, but the like weather and recovery wasn't that good. So it's too hot for me. It's not like that kind of place for training. So yeah, that's why I came. He said to me, come here, so we'll make you ready for the fight.
I feel like, I've gotten the opportunity to be around you for years. I feel like years ago, maybe in Southern California, you would have enjoyed the car with the top off and driving around and having people recognize you and going shopping and everything else. And then your team now tells me that you barely leave the house. Is it different? I mean, I know you say you're the same Khamzat, but you're a little different too.
Yeah, but it's hard to go out to the people. You know, I like the people when they love me and they can come forth and they take pictures and stuff. But this fight for me has to be ready, don't get sick, and to show up to the fight and gives to my fans the thing they love. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm just said to the boys, if we go to the mall, if somebody gets sick and he's big fan, he's gonna come for me, and maybe we get that sickness, you know. So has to be careful for that. So that's why I go out. I go to the beach today as well with you and the boys, and sometimes, but better to stay home, prepare for the fight, relax, talk with my family on the phone. So, yeah.
And like you say, this one is really big. I mean, I can remember sitting in the gym with you 3 years ago talking about this, and I didn't think it was going to take 3 years to get here. Does it feel different just because of, like, we've been waiting a long time for this. I've been waiting a long time for this. Have you? Like, does it feel like I'm finally here? Does it feel different?
Yeah, but that's pretty long time, but still, like, yeah, I believe in God, so he has his plans, but I had my plans, like, in my man, and like my man, like, just was supposed to fight like 2 years ago for the belt, but yeah, but I'm happy. I'm happy to know I'm fighting right now, so it's God wills.
Have you been pretty happy throughout this process, or were there times where it's good that you're happy now and we're going into a title fight, but yeah, there've been some dark times leading up to this?
It's been. All the dark times makes you a stronger man. So I like to be and going through a lot of tough things.
Mm-hmm. You got this dream of winning a UFC championship when you were at work in Sweden and you watched Conor McGregor knock out Jose Aldo on TV. I know I've talked to you about this before, but what do you remember about that? And Are you that same guy like that stood there and watched that fight on TV and thought, I could do that? I want to do that? Like, what's different?
Nothing big different, but I'm right now a UFC fighter. I wasn't that time a UFC fighter. Like now I realize I can be a champion. Now I know I'm already there. So at that time it was my dream. Just maybe should do that. So I could do it. I'm gonna try and went to try and happen. You know, never try, never know.
It was like it was almost 10 years ago. Does it feel like a long time ago standing there and watching that fight?
Time's going fast, man. It feels like it was yesterday. Yeah.
When you stood there and it feels like yesterday and you watched Conor McGregor knock him out in 13 seconds, do you think that is how you will win your UFC championship, or do you think your destiny is a little different?
I'm a little bit different fighter. Like Conor is he's more boxer and more striking, like, you know, counter puncher. But maybe I'm not bad in striking as well, so can happen anything.
Well, even if it's not striking, if it's just if it's like that, you know, do you think it's going to be? I mean, you've had to work so hard to get here. Do you think that the final step is going to be over quickly, or do you feel like there's going to be a lot of adversity in this fight?
I'm gonna go all in, like always does. So we will see if it's gonna go fast. It's gonna be fast, but if it goes for 5 rounds, I will be ready. I'm fighting there 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm. In October last year, when you fought Rob in Abu Dhabi, Robert Whittaker, I talked to you in backstage, and I was like, did Robert even make a mistake, or was this just inevitable? Like, could he have even done anything different to stop what happened tonight?
I don't think so, but usually people see me like, crazy guy just going and doing all in. He gonna guess out for first round. If I know I can finish your first round, I go for that. If I feels like he's gonna finish your second round, I just go in and feel the guy, and then I go all in. If I feel that this guy is not my level, and when I took him down, we scrambled a little bit. After 1 minute, I recognized like this guy is not that good. Like people talking about, like, you know, he couldn't stop the takedowns from Olympic wrestling guys. Is this that? Bro, like people don't understand MMA wrestling and normal, usually freestyle wrestling or Greco is not the same thing, you know. Mm-hmm. So if you bring some Olympic champion to MMA, I'm gonna wrestle him. Mm-hmm. You know? So, but if I go for the match, Olympic wrestlers, they're gonna destroy me in the match. Mm-hmm. But that's a big difference, 2 different sports, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to take him down as a meet.
So you know within the first few seconds, minute, what the fight is going to look like. You just know if the other guy can stop your wrestling. You know it pretty quickly once you're in there with him. Yeah.
But when I feel his body, like it's like takes 10-15 minutes to know it will be hard to take him down or not. Mm-hmm. So I feel it really quickly. So yeah.
Can you even tell when you guys do a stare down, you know, at the end, and you, like sometimes you kind of go like this, and I've heard fighters like Cormier is always saying that he's got to feel you out, you know. Can you even tell when you do that? Like if you and Dricus square off next in Chicago, and you kind of go like this to him, do you think you'll know right then?
If 20 seconds, if we wrestle, I will know. So, but we'll fight in the fight. It looks a little bit weird, but he's a good fighter, but. He's there a champ, not like just because he's, you know, like because he's Dricus, but he's work hard. He comes there and become a champ, but he's not better fighter than me.
Yeah, and I've listened to you. I've talked to you about fighters and different guys, and you're always pretty honest, and you're always, you know, I'm not impressed with this guy or I'm not impressed with that guy. But then when it comes to your opponents, I think like smartly, you know, you say you want to give them credit. You don't want to think that, you know, it's going to be easy. But when you really look at this guy, do you think he's going to be able to stop your takedown? Or what do you think you're going to find out when you get in there with him immediately from just based on what you've seen on film?
Like I told before, and the guys after my fight with Robert, and they said, like, I said to the guys, watch guys, the other UFC fighters who usually strikes, they takes him down I'm a wrestler in MMA, like one of the best wrestlers in MMA. How it's not possible to take him down, to take this guy down? If Robert took him down, and Tyron Till scramble and take over, and he took him down as well. But the guys know how much level I am in wrestling and in MMA.
What do you make of him wanting to fight you then? Because I don't know. I believe him when I've talked to him about it. And I remember even before he fought his last fight, he was saying, I want that guy. I want Khamzat. I want the guy that people think is the scary guy.
Respect that. So not everyone saying that, So a lot of guys was running away from me, So he gets the champ and he says, I want to fight him. It's good. Respect. And what I can say about it. It's good for me.
Yeah, it is. And one thing I remember about your last fight in October is, you showed up and you were speaking very calmly, quietly. You had your glasses on, and people were like, "Oh, like he's a different guy, He's not that same guy." And then you went in and had, your most dominant performance ever. And then after the fact, you said that was because of Robert. Like, Robert's a nice guy. So, like, how are you going to act all crazy around Robert Whittaker? And that makes sense to me. Do you look at this fight in Chicago, like you guys are going to have a little bit of fun before you go fight?
I think so. He's a funny guy. Yeah, he speaks a little bit more than Robert does. So, it will be fun. I like it when somebody talks and joking. I want to go spar with my friends and with my teammates. I speak with them and we have a fun. It's the same thing, bro. Every day we fight in the gym and go there, fight, make money. It makes me more happy.
Mm-hmm. When you think about the actual belt itself, something that you've waited for a long time, at this point, what does the belt mean to you? What does it symbolize? What is the significance of winning a UFC championship now to you?
If I say like it's really like big thing for me, it will be like, but for me, it's most important to have money, make money, and make my family and good life, So I think about my opponent to win a go against him, and the most important to beat a guy. It's not important to have a belt. So if I beat him, of course, I'm gonna have a belt as well. So first thing I think about the guy, then comes belt as well.
The belts used to mean something, though, to you, didn't they? I feel like they did, unless I just interpreted that wrong from you.
I don't know. Maybe it gives better life for you.
Yeah, that's what it symbolizes.
If we say, like, the guys John Jones has so many belts. But he's finished career, he's gonna stay with his family. That's the important, So the other guys, Dimitri Jones, how many belts he had. So, but if you ask him, I don't think so. And belts is important than his family. So it's most important. Give the food, have a good life for your family. That's the important thing for me.
You told me when I was in Sweden that the difference between you, though, is that most people are thinking about one belt. I'm thinking about 3 belts. That was something that you said, and it really stuck out.
Yeah.
That's different. That's changed now. That's a different mindset.
No, that's not changed. So I work with the new coach, Coach Cao. I talk about him, go down again, back to my first fights, the 170 or 75, or what was that?
170.
170. He said it gives me a couple of months. We're gonna make it. So I don't know who is the champ there. This guy, Australian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would be a good fight for me and go down fight with him as well.
Yeah,
could take the belt there. And if I go up and there is Ankalaev and his name Alex Pereira, they are fighting now. Mm-hmm. Who is winning can fight for that belt as well. So, yeah.
Why would you even want to go down to 170? Like it's very, very hard, obviously. Like,
yeah, it's hard, but if you can do it, why not? Everything is hard. So to get big things is not that easy, You have to work for that. So I realized it from a really long time ago. But you work hard, you get good, That's why I maybe go down and take the belt there as well.
Well, that's why, and I think, you're fighting for money and you're fighting to take care of your family, and that's absolutely true. But I still feel like you are a guy, of course you are. You wouldn't be here and at this level, if you weren't, you were still looking for the biggest challenge though too, right? Like you
Of
want
course,
to go
of
against the
course,
hardest thing.
because the guys before me, they did something, like get the 2 belts and did some, we can say in the sport history, so that kind of thing. So if somebody does, I want to do it as well. So at least you have to try.
I feel like, you talking about Coach Calavita and potentially even dropping down to 170 pounds, and you love your fans obviously, and you're still wanting to have a good time, but you're not going out as much because you don't want to get sick ahead of a title fight. Like you are acting like a professional athlete now, whereas maybe you weren't before.
That's true. Yeah, that's before when I was younger, a couple of years ago. So did through my training session, and then evening went out with the friends, going around, came back like 2:00 at night, sleep again, go like, it was crazy time, like 2-3 years after the first UFC fight. It's more professional you are, it's better for you.
There's this rumor out there that if you win the championship, that you will retire. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I seen the Kaya said, I don't know where he's heard that things. So I need money, bro. This is not enough, right? Just to go for the one title. So I hopefully, if not get some injury or some stuff, they're gonna fight for defend the belt or fight for other belt in Abu Dhabi as well.
Did Kaio just make this up completely, or are there days where you do say like, man, I could really do without all of this? Is there any truth to it at all, even, just consideration?
No, I didn't talk about these things with someone, so I don't know where this come from for him. But yeah, always you had something in your mind. Maybe you can be the finish, like you get tired in training camp, you get hurt, some surgery, and why I'm doing this minor, this doing all the athletes, So, but 1-2 days, you want to go back and work hard and fight somebody and make money. That's everyone does. It's my job. The best thing I know I do right now. I'm healthy, I'm young, so gonna fight.
When you win the championship in Chicago, do you think it'll mean more to you than it would have if this had happened 3 years ago? Like if you wouldn't have had to go through the health issues and the waiting, do you think it means more to you now because of that, or it would have meant the same back then?
I think the same, because I don't know what to say. I just want to go fight, make money, bro. Like when we start talk about the belt and things, like guys saying, you going for the belt, this like first Chechen guy who's going for the belt, his history, big things, Yeah, it's maybe big, but still the one fight, one of my fights, I did that before 14 times, so I'm gonna go one more.
Maybe that's what makes you so good, that you don't think about it too much.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. So I just want to be in the cage with this guy and just fight.
Yeah, it is still your favorite thing. Like that moment where they close the cage, that is still that's where you want to be.
That gives me different energy. That's like, it's really short, but I love that energy. It's good 25 minutes. If it go for 25 minutes, I have fun 25. But if it goes like 2-3 minutes, I have 2-3 minutes fun, It's really different. Yeah, we can't do sparring, again, do training, it's not the same feeling in the cage. A lot of people watching you and different energy, different adrenaline, so I like it. I
mean, Robert Whittaker is a very good fighter, and you tore through him. If you do that to Dricus Du Plessis, like you know what's going to happen. I mean, DC is going to be on his YouTube channel saying like all these fights, like fantasy fights that you should be taking. Who scares you in the sport? Like who would actually be like, dang man, like I can beat him, but this is going to take my best night. This is going to take everything I got. I mean, obviously as you get we start talking about heavyweights or something, but like who are the like scary guys to you in this sport?
I never think about somebody can make me scared in the fights, so then when I see somebody can make me just excited to fight him, but make scared, that's not a big thing. Just go there and fight. Like that, fighting all my life. I will be die anyway, but better to do something before. So I'm happy to do something, So some guys, 100 years, they don't do anything. It's just going around and do sometimes work or not, sometimes helping, sometimes not, sometimes do bad things, going to jail, So I doesn't want to be a normal guy. I'm gonna do something before I die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you told me about this school that you're going to build in Chechnya, or it's a gym in Chechnya. And it's not just like, what is this? What is this gym that you're going to build in Chechnya?
Gym for me, for the kids, from my village. We didn't have a good gym in my village. I was supposed to go to different village to train wrestling and judo and stuff, we never had that kind of gym. So there's not so many people living around there, but if somebody becomes a champ or he's become a good fighter, makes money and makes good life around him and his people, I will be happy. So that's why I'll be doing that.
Did you always know that you were going to go back and live in your village? Or was there a time when you were in Sweden that like you never thought you would go back and live there? Like what does that village and living there mean to you?
I grew up there till I get 19. So it's a lot of my friends there who went to school with me and wrestling, That means big thing. My family lives there. My dad, my mom, my brothers and sisters. And when I die, my bodies will be there as well. So that's big thing,
Why do you think you say that so much? Like, it's just death is just kind of like, I've never, like in these interviews, I don't really hear it get brought up so much, but you tend to bring it up on a regular basis.
No, I believe the guy, so when I meet him as well. So always people talking about the life. Life is going really fast, So I'm already 31. I feels like I remember I was like 6-7 years. I think was like yesterday, Mm-hmm. I have to believe God and do good things before I met him, So you have to be ready for that. If you're not ready to die, when it comes, you will be scared, man. Mm-hmm. So maybe that thing, or I'm thinking like about that, so it makes me who I am today.
You think you're ready for I ask you this, like, I think pretty much every time I talk to you. Do you think you're ready for the stardom and the fame and the change of life that's going to come? If you go out and you win a UFC championship, you're already a superstar, but that it always elevates it so much, And when you look into your bank account and you see a lot of zeros in it, how is it? Are you ready for that? And like the temptations that come along with it, the chance that it could change you. Like what do you think about like your life has come so far and it could still change incredibly over the next few months?
Yeah, of course, but I'm making more money than other champs does, so I went through all those things, all the money. I seen the good life, I seen the crazy cars, private jets, all that stuff, and watches and clothes, and I went through that. I'm ready. So yeah. It's nothing big thing gonna happen like change with the money. Well, when I have a belt, make more money. Helps for somebody who needs more, Mm-hmm. A lot of young guys who are helping with. I hope one day they become better than me or the champs, So I see how they train, how they want it, So I see in me. When I was younger, on that position there was. So I can't stop. If somebody becomes from my team UFC champion, then I maybe stop and let them do it. Mm-hmm. So now has to fight for not only for me. If I win the fight, I give a lot of 20, 30 guys and give them let them go into Thailand, doing the training camp there, or Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and on the mountains. Yeah. There's a lot of money, you need a lot of money for the boys, make them champions.
Yeah. Where do you think that why do you think that that's come up so important to you? Most guys who are coming up on championships, I think, are thinking about themselves. Like, why do you think you're thinking that way?
If you do good things, I said before, if you good things right now, when you met the God, so it will get good,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm doing good things. I need to do that. If I say, not saying that because of I'm just want to show up and I did good things for the boys. I did that. So I want the other different guys will become the champ, who gets the money there. Just what are you going to do with the old money? What are you going to do with these belts? And just help the people, man. Mm-hmm. Let other young boys around you, they just look at you and you have the money, you're driving G-Wagons and all the stuff. I doesn't want to drive only G-Wagon. All my friends want to drive G-Wagon, Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm helping them as well. Mm-hmm. I could drive Ferrari, Lamborghini, or private jet, but I spend the money, more than half money for my people, Mm-hmm.
Last thing I want to ask you about is your mom, because when I was in Sweden, the other things I remember the most is that you said that you were pretty much, in a way, doing all this for your mother too. She would wait for you boys to eat before she would eat. So how is your mom doing? What have you done for her, and what does she think about you fighting for a UFC championship?
She's good. She's happy. She's asking when you become a champ. I said before, and when I become a champ, maybe I finish. Mom, let me fight. So all the fights after are you a champ? No. So, but she comfortable now. She knows I'm fighting. So before she was always crying. Why are you doing that? Why And when you always start something, people around you, they become comfortable, he does that before as well. They're not so scared, Mm-hmm. Like before. She's good. She sometimes live in my village, sometimes go in Sweden, sometimes go in the mountains. Has a house over there as well. Some has different place, different apartments, Mm-hmm. Moscow around, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Mm-hmm. She has a good life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So does she know this? She knows this is for a championship, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't ask.
So she's going to ask you, though. She's going to be like, "You're the champion, so now you can be done." That's what she's going to ask.
She always asks, "Can you stop with that?" But yeah, she knows I'm gonna fight anyway.
Does there tend to be one last thing that you think about before your fight starts? You'll be the challenger, so you'll be waiting for him to come out. Is there any thing that you find yourself thinking about, or that's on your mind before a fight starts?
Yeah, usually my coach Alan always pick us up. You're not fighting for yourself. You fight for these people, for everyone. He speaks nice, he's a good guy, and it's nice to hear that things as well. But usually I said that before for some guys around me. They're trying to hype me up, it makes me more excited for the fight. You're doing this for your mom, you're doing this, brother, let's go, this. Said, guys, I don't need that. I don't need to say to me anything. My heart, if I go to the cage, it's closed. It's gonna fight for that. So anyway, but whatever you think, you go to the cage, you have to fight. My heart wants to fight. So far, yeah. Always, I think, how far he wants to fight, I'm gonna fight as well.